Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grizzly Growl Show. I'm your host, Matt Mahoney. We got a great show lined up for you today. Our special guest is head men's soccer coach Steve DeCou. He is in the house here tonight. We've got a live studio audience for you, no big deal. We also have our third segment, which is our best segment. We have the most fun. Stay tuned for that too as well. As for now, Grizzly fans, you got a little bit of homework to do. Coming up is hashtag Go Grizzlies Friday. You know what to do. Wear your green and gray every Friday. Show off your school pride. You can post a selfie on any of your favorite social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Have some fun. Snapchat probably works too as well. Hashtag Go Grizzlies Friday. Whether you're going to work, going to the grocery store, or anything about your daily life on Friday, wear those green and gray colors and promote your school pride. Hashtag Go Grizzlies Friday. Also, programming note for you, Beyond the Glory podcast is back with yours truly. And the way it's going to work a little bit is here on the Grizzly Growl Show, we're going to have our guest for you. And there's an extended interview over on the podcast. You get a little bit over here on the Grizzly Growl Show, but then you get the whole enchilada of it on the podcast. So be sure to search for Beyond the Glory podcast on your favorite podcast platform and hit that subscribe button for weekly interviews. All right. Up next is our Grizzly Fest 2020 coming up next month in October, the 15th through the 18th. It's going to be all online, 100% virtual. We'll have more information coming to you, but put it on your calendar now. Grizzly Fest 2020, October 15th through the 18th. And finally, lastly, but certainly not least, the ITA South Regional Championship is coming to Lawrenceville next week, September 18th through the 20th. Chase Hodge and the Grizzlies will be out on the courts of competitions competing for championships. That's right, the Grizzlies will be playing for a championship next week, and I couldn't be any more excited. Be sure to check it out. You're not going to want to miss it. All the information is over at ggcathletics.com. So we'll get ready for the show now. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and have head men's soccer coach Steve DeCou on the Grizzly Growl Show on the Grizzly Digital Network. GGC softball practices and competes at the state-of-the-art facility located just steps away from the team's home locker room as part of the Grizzly Athletics complex. The softball facility features outdoor batting cages, team dugouts, and a multi-use press box. The one-of-a-kind complex is unique for Grizzly fans with bleacher seating for 500 behind home plate, additional lawn chair seating down the right field line, and an exclusive hospitality area for Grizzly Club members. For more information on our first-class facility, visit our facilities page at ggcathletics.com. Welcome in, everybody, to Studio 5, where a special guest today is head men's soccer coach Steve DeCou. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
What was your temperature at the door when you walked in this morning?
76 degrees, but no humidity.
76 degrees. No, your temperature. You got to go through the health screening.
Oh, I'm more excited about the outdoor temp. It was cool finally for a practice. Actually, 94.2.
94?
I got the AC pumping right on my face when I'm coming in.
You cold
and I'm hard. Yeah, I'm cold-hearted. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So here we are in the middle of, or not the middle, but we've begun this fall semester in what is now COVID-19 procedures and policies. Sounds like your family's doing good. You've now seen your entire men's soccer team. How are they handling all the changes that is their new world of college athletics?
They've been troopers about it. They're resilient. They're doing everything we're asking. Basically for us, we've flipped the semesters. What would typically be our spring semester is now what we're doing this fall. So, but with all the changes from policies and protocols on the field to not being allowed in the facility or certain parts of the facilities, they're doing everything we ask. They're just happy to be playing compared to what it was, 3-4 months ago when you're stuck at home, not able to get outside. You'll do whatever they say just so you can play.
Now on this side of it, what were some of the challenges of those players that went home to their home countries coming back here to the United States and Georgia and Georgia Gwinnett College?
So from, about April till mid-July, there was a reciprocal ban on travel. Those from Europe couldn't travel to the U.S. Americans couldn't travel to Europe. It was, I want to think the date was July 27th. Word came out from the U.S. government that those from Europe could travel over here. So it was on a Thursday. Thursday night, I sent an email to the players, and everybody started looking at booking flights. We had one player in particular, Juan Parisi, who found out Thursday night, was here Monday morning.
Wow, that was quick.
Now, Juan had missed the entire spring semester. He had stayed at home for academic reasons, the whole thing with eligibility, number of semesters you can play. So Juan had missed the spring, so he was just chomping at the bit to get back here. So the minute he found out he could, he was here. He's like, Coach, I'm coming, let's go. This is perfect. So, but the rest of them, everybody came in on time, save for one recruit, and we only had one this year that needed to go to the embassy, because that was the second big issue, was when are the embassies going to open so the new guys can go get their visas. And so an English striker, his was August 5th. We started classes, the 7th? But because everything was virtual the first week, he was taking classes back home in England, got here, had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and is caught up to speed, no problem.
And so the Grizzlies are back here, starting to go through practices, starting to go through workouts. As the head coach, how do you recover is the word I'd like to use emotionally. How do you recover emotionally from last season? Because such an emotional win in the AII, such an emotional high in the opening round, and then the feeling of just absolute worst emotional feeling that first game of California. So it's such an up and down. It's such a high then such a low all of a sudden. How do you get the team back together? How do you reprogram your program, so to speak, heading into this season?
You can't really reprogram that, but I mean, the way we look at it is most of the country, would give their left arm to be where we were. And we had a bad day. Got beat by a good team. We did not play well, but that was last year's team. We knew what we needed to do to replace it recruiting-wise. I'm not going to give names. I'm going to make those at home. Make sure you come out and watch us play in the spring. But this is probably our best recruiting class ever.
How has social distancing changed how you coach? Because you used to get the team in a huddle and you'd be right in the middle of it and you get to do your thing. But now after X amount of years of coaching, all of a sudden, hey, coach, you're not allowed to do that stuff anymore. What's some of the ways that the pandemic and the social distancing guidelines have affected how you coach?
Well, first off, X amount of years is 21. We can just go ahead and say it. I'm old. No, it's those circles aren't quite as tight. They're socially distanced.
Yeah.
There's no more, high fives and slaps on the, on the back of good job. It's wearing a gaiter or a mask is probably the worst thing, especially last week as hot and humid as it was. But a lot of it's still the same. I mean, since we're outside, we're able to spread out a little bit more. We're able to, I just back away when I'm yelling instructions because you keep everybody socially distanced with that. But, it's just getting used to the masks and the face coverings is probably the hardest part. And here's one for you, water bottles. You have to disinfect your hands. So the first guy there disinfects his hands, and he just sits there and presses the button for everybody else that needs it. Everybody has their own water bottles. We're not allowed to use the locker rooms. We're not allowed to do laundry, which has actually been kind of nice in some regards. It's taken some of that responsibility away. But I think the positive out of all of this is going to be that word responsibility, in that we can't share bibs, the vests we wear to differentiate teams. So everybody has to bring, we bought them all 3 sets of bibs. Everybody has to take care of that for themselves. They have to show up early to get the temperature screen, the test, or the questions, how you feel and all that type of stuff. So whereas this could be seen as a hassle, as a negative, we're taking this as an opportunity to teach these guys more discipline and be able to manage themselves better for it.
Sounds good. Well, we're looking forward to seeing the Grizzlies out there next spring. Darren alluded to it last week that we found some friends in the Southern States Athletic Conference. You don't have to give specific dates, but I know one of the biggest challenges is being in the AII, I should say, is filling that schedule. And now you had a pandemic on top of that. It can't get any easier, but things are coming together nicely for the schedule, I hear.
See, and I'm going to look at it different. In a typical year, I love the fact when we're at the AII because we are in complete control of our schedule. And if you go back and look at our strength of schedule in the last 5 years, we're typically a top 10 team. We play a top 10 strength of schedule in the country. Now, based on everything that's happened, it was going to be an absolute nightmare. So yes, very thankful. I mean, I get to go back to the Southern States because prior to my time here, I was in a school that was a member of it. So very thankful for the commissioner and everybody over there for allowing us. That's 8 games. Our first one is scheduled Well, our season will start February 3rd, and then I think it's, without having it memorized yet, it's towards the 3rd or 4th week of February, we start conference play. And it's going to be, we're on their matrix, we have a travel partner, so we'll play, say, a Thursday, Saturday type schedule. So our first road trip is to Thomas University and then Florida College. So, and then it's Bruton Parker, Middle Georgia. Then we have a one weekend where it's just Faulkner. Then the big weekend is Mobile and William Carey come in here.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's going to be a great weekend. Then we play Dalton State. So, but we're only playing in their conference matrix in the regular season, and then we'll go back into AII play for the postseason. So, and even that's going to have a different look this year because some schools have opted not to play in their conference play. There's 2 schools I can think of for sure, well 3, that are not playing in the fall and will join the AII. So that tournament could really, the strength of schedule could improve drastically the way it's been the last couple of years.
Well, Coach, we'll take it. We're certainly glad that you were able to join us here today. Really appreciate your time. Does it feel a little bit normal?
No.
Not yet? Okay.
No, but this is the new normal. It's you adapt, you survive. I mean, I'd rather be doing this new normal versus sitting in my house having Zoom calls. I mean, I guess I could have put that as what hobby I've gotten great at was I can Zoom call with
You have a
the
Zoom
best of
account now.
I do have, yeah. But
But just having the guys back and having practice in a routine and a schedule, it feels a little normal?
Yeah, as normal as it could. I mean, this is the first time, though, since probably 84, 85 that I've not been involved in a season.
Sure.
So we'll take it, though. I'd rather take this than, not doing anything. So
Absolutely. Well, Coach DeCou, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
To check out our full-length version of this conversation, check out our podcast, Beyond the Glory. As for us, we're going to take a break on the Grizzly Growl Show. We'll come back with more here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Hey you. Yeah, the one wearing the green and gray. Just a little friendly reminder here. Go Grizzlies.
Welcome back to the show. As you can see, we're out here at the GGC Tennis facilities. The Grizzlies prepare for the ITA South Regional Championships. And while we're out here, we thought we'd have a little bit of fun with our Grizzlies in a newest segment called the Name Game. It's very simple. All you have to do is correctly spell the name of one of your very own teammates selected randomly by me.
Hello, my name is Lydia Velikorodna. I'm from Ukraine, from Kyiv. I play for DDC.
The name I want you to spell is on the women's tennis team. Okay. Liza Velikorodna.
Oh, the last name as well. L-E-Z-A. Velikorodna, you said? V as Victor, L-Y-K-O-N-O. V as Victor again, A. No?
L-Y-Z-A. And the surname, how is it?
Velikorodna. V-E-L-Y-K-A-R-O-D-N-A-Y-A. Ah.
Say again the last name?
Velikorodna.
What?
Velikorodna.
I cannot even start.
Not gonna try?
No, impossible. Not
Just
even
try.
one chance.
Just try.
How is it again?
Velikorodna.
Velikorodna. V-L-A. Is it K-O-N? Velikorodna. N-O-G-A.
V-E-L-Y-K-A-R-O-D-N-A. Oh my gosh.
B-E-R. That's it.
V-E-L-Y-K-O-R-O-D-N-A.
Yeah.
Tough. L-I-Z-A-V-E-L-Y-K-O-R-O-D-N-A. Champ.
Check out the Grizzlies competing in the ITA South Regional Championship September 18th through the 20th right here at the GGC Tennis facility. That's our show today. Thanks for tuning in. If you didn't like today's episode, tune in next week. We'll make it better. Big thanks to Steve DeCou and, of course, GGC Tennis for playing along here today. As always, it's a great day to be a Grizzly. So long, everybody.